Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, David Beckham, Andreas Pirlo, Pele. These are some players whose talent and skill pushed them to the top of the footballing world. But although talent is an important recipe for football success, it isn't a guarantee. As we will see in today's video, certain players failed to live up to their potential despite their enormous talents. Come along with us as we reveal how players' potential was wasted. Number 4. Paulo Dybala. Dybala was one of the best forwards for Juventus. He was so good in his prime that he was nicknamed La Joya, which means the jewel. Dybala won the Serie B for Palermo before moving to Juventus in 2015, where he won 9 trophies. He was voted Serie A Most Valuable Player once and has also been in the Serie A Team of the Year 4 times. Dybala scored 82 goals for the Bianconeri, which makes him the club's 9th highest goal scorer. But despite enjoying success with the old lady, the Argentine international never truly lived up to his potential and failed to deliver at crucial moments for the black and white. This trend continued till he fell out of favor with the club. He later sealed a move to Roma. One of the reasons Dybala underperformed throughout his career was due to constant injury during what should have been his prime. On top of the injuries, Dybala found it difficult to fit in tactically to the team style, a team that had changed 4 managers in 4 seasons. In 2017, Dybala's former teammate Dani Alves told him to leave Juventus if he truly wanted to fulfill his potential. Despite still playing for the club at the time, Alves advised him that Juve isn't a club for such a rising star. This advice came after Alves spent 1 season as Dybala's teammate and when it was still believed that Dybala could rival the likes of Lionel Messi. Had Dybala followed the advice, maybe things would have been different. In the end, he was ousted from Juve due to his recurrent muscle injury and his huge paycheck. He was one of the highest paid players on the squad and Juventus made the choice to release him on a free transfer after he had spent 7 years in Turin before he signed for Roma. Now 29 years old, Paulo is surely one of the great talents who failed to live up to expectations. Number 3. Philippe Coutinho. Philippe Coutinho's story is one of the biggest examples of a footballer whose potential was wasted. Coutinho was a prodigious talent in his home country, which made Inter Milan sign him for €4 million in 2008. He was sent back to Vasco da Gama and Espanyol before he made a dream move to Liverpool in 2013. Coutinho shone in Liverpool as he was named in the PFA Team of the Year. Together with Salah, Firmino and Mane, Coutinho formed an undefeatable attacking quartet. But his career would begin to spiral after he sealed a record move to Spanish giants Barcelona. The catalyst for his move to Barcelona was the shocking departure of Neymar to PSG and Iniesta's exit. Loaded with cash from Neymar's world record sale, Barca revealed their intention to get Coutinho. At first, Liverpool resisted, but later accepted £105 million for the Brazilian player, allowing him to complete his dream move to Camp Nou. The first problem that brewed with Coutinho's arrival was that he wasn't suited to any of his new roles. He wanted to play further than Iniesta's midfield role and not in Neymar's left wing. He preferred to roam in the center areas and find space between the lines of the opposition's midfield and defense. Unfortunately, Barcelona already had someone who fit in that role, in the person of Messi. So Coutinho ended up getting in Messi's way and disrupting the team's rhythm by taking hopeful long-range strikes with little or no success. When Coutinho failed to fit in, Barcelona signed Antoine Griezmann, which further darkened Coutinho's chances at Barca, and so he was sent down to Bayern Munich on a season-long deal with the hope that Bayern would make the deal permanent. Despite scoring twice in an 8-2 annihilation against his former club in the Champions League, Bayern didn't sign him and he returned to Barcelona. With the club not keen on fitting him into its plan, Coutinho was sold to Aston Villa for £17 million after a loan spell at the club. Just imagine the drop from £106 million to £17 million. Coutinho indeed brought his experiences into the team, but he was loaned out of Europe for this season and is now in Qatar. Coutinho is a good example of how a grace-to-grass footballer whose potential got wasted due to some wrong decisions. The Brazilian even told his friends that he regretted forcing his way out of Liverpool. Number 2. William Borges da Silva. Not many players gain the love of a club before kicking the ball in their jersey. especially a 25-year-old player with an average reputation after spells in Brazil, Ukraine, and Russia. However, Willian was one of them. When the former Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich hijacked Willian from Tottenham on 2013 deadline day, the narrative changed and he gained the love of the Blues. Tottenham thought they could keep Willian. He had even agreed terms with them and had undergone medical. Not until Chelsea declared their interest and the deal became theirs. Willian spent 8 hours at the Spurs lodge before he moved to Stamford Bridge after he was released. The Brazilian winger went on to score 37 goals in 234 matches for Chelsea. He also won 5 trophies in his illustrious 7 seasons, which includes 2 Premier League titles. William Borges was on a fine run for the club not until 2020, when he decided to swap Stamford Bridge for the Emirates. There, he signed a 3-year contract. Willian was still an important player for Chelsea at the time, but he couldn't persuade himself to stay. He even equaled his highest assist tally in his last season for the Blues by scoring 9 Premier League goals and providing 7 assists. More so, it wasn't like Chelsea showed Willian the exit door. They insisted on keeping him and repeatedly offered him a 2-year extension, but he refused because it was a year less than what he was asking for. Arsenal utilized this opportunity and successfully got his signature. Willian was seen as a player who would make an immediate impact for the club, which he did on his debut by providing 2 assists in a 3-0 win against Fulham. Since that impressive performance, Willian became a source of frustration to Arsenal fans because he scored just a goal in 37 appearances for the club, a free kick against West Brom. Arsenal's manager Mikel Arteta admitted that their expectation of Willian when they decided to sign him hasn't been fulfilled yet. He even added that the season had to be the most difficult for any player in football history. With Willian's downward surge, Arsenal decided to end his deal mutually, just a year into their 3-year contract. Willian tried to revive his career by rejoining his boyhood club in Brazil, Corinthians. Unfortunately, he became worse as he scored just once in 45 appearances, with the Brazilian club being eliminated from 2 competitions within weeks. Maybe this was why this family started receiving constant threats. Everything became evident when Willian terminated his contract with Corinthians. Taking to his social media, he explained the reason why he had to keep the safety of his family in mind. Willian seldom moved back to the Premier League, this time with Fulham, and he seems to be reviving his career with 5 goals in 30 matches. But there is little to be expected from the winger these days, as he is now 35 years old. Number 1. Douglas Costa. Legendary Frank Ribery's injury in the 2014-2015 season opened a perfect opportunity for Douglas Costa. With Ribery heading toward the end of his career, the Bayern Munich board knew they had to find a reliable backup quickly, and it turned out to be Costa. On July 1st, 2015, Costa joined the Bundesliga giants from Shakhtar Donetsk for 30 million euros, despite being from a lower league. At that time, there were serious concerns about his usefulness as a long-time replacement for Ribery because his highest career goal in a season was 7. He only reached double digits in his assists twice in his career, and he was about 25 years old then. How was he going to fill the shoes of a Ballon d'Or finalist? That was the question on everyone's lips. Eyebrows were raised also on his price tag, which seemed too much for a player of his caliber. Top players like Robben and Ribery were considered to cost less than him. Thankfully, Costa mastered his new team style like a duck to water. He started impressing from training, then friendly matches into competitive matches where he scored in his debut and earned himself a 10 out of 10 match rating. His first season was so good that it looked like he was a steal despite his price tag. Things began going sour in his second season when Bayern changed managers. Costa had been enjoying regular playtime under Pep Guardiola, but Carlo Ancelotti, who was the new coach, preferred Ribery on the left wing. To add to the wound, he had a knee and hamstring which limited his playing time more. The final stroke that broke everything was when he complained about his playing time to the Bayern board. He fell out of favor and was loaned to Juventus with an option to make the move permanent. He was signed permanently in 2018 and underwent a spell fouled with injuries. Costa even considered retiring at 29 due to his injuries, and he had to hire a mental coach to help him. The ace player has suffered over 17 different major injuries in his career, including a calf injury that ruled him out for 4 months. His return to Bayern Munich in 2020 saw him win a total of 5 trophies for the Bavarians. Costa now plays for LA Galaxy in the MLS without any significant award to his name, despite his incredible talent. Being talented is an incredible asset, but a single wrong decision might ruin a player, which is what happened to most of the players discussed earlier. Which of them do you think would have been the world's best if they fulfilled their potential? Let us know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel for more sports content.